But this is Spencer Pablo, Sony artisan extraordinaire.
Shucks.
And photographer of all things.
Yes.
Citizen of the world.
Yes, this is Scott Davenport.
That's all he has to say.
Cute face.
Oh, wow. Now I know you're sleep deprived. All right. So are we calling this episode 1?
Yes, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it episode 1. I think we worked out some of the kinks. Of course, this is so janky again, just like the first episode, our 0 episode.
Yeah. This actually isn't as bad. We're not using my phone, which was like...
Oh, right.
It was like looking through like those 1970s yellow tinted police glasses. It was really not looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It worked out okay. By the way, what we're doing is we're talking about the our try out episode, which we may release at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of like, like for a special day, like Arbor Day. Celebrate a holiday.
Hey, let's celebrate
the
Arbor
Day release of episode 0, some behind the scenes crap.
So last time we did this, we had things balancing on I remember a lens cleaner. We're talking about, we had cameras that were kind of balancing on lens cleaners, a microphone bag. Now I just have a jacket, one of those little Peak Design pucks that's kind of balancing the RX100 over there.
Yep.
The one in the center looks so professional.
That one's actually really looking stable too.
It's
I think the other thing that helps is it's a different car. There's more dash.
Yes.
The last one, it was kind of a very narrow dashboard, or at least the slope of the windshield.
It was a sweep. It was just so weird.
I'm laughing because we're photographers in cars, and we're talking about the aerodynamics of the
I know,
car,
right? Yeah,
and not anything about photography. So.
And then that one is standing on its own.
It's just on its own. I didn't really do anything, so it's probably a little bit
beautiful.
tilted.
That's beautiful. So we're photographers in cars. We're just a couple of photographers here in San Diego. Today, we just finished some sunrise shoots.
Yeah, Imperial Beach. And
so
I
early.
wanted to come out. Well, it's early.
It's so early.
It's sunrise. It has to be early. But
no, and I dig early. The thing is, I had a late night concert last night, and so I didn't go to bed until like almost 2. And then this guy here, Scott.
Wait! You hear that? That's like the softest violin playing ever.
Oh, there it is.
Cry Me a River.
There it is. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, no.
Do you hear that? That's me scraping bottom for another joke.
So how'd your shoot go, by the way?
All right. So I've kind of been doing this photo project where I want to do very minimal compositions, thinking black and white, just because I shoot sunrise and sunset. I'm at the beach all the time, and I was getting to the point where it was becoming, I don't know, automatic. I was on autopilot. It was walk up, setting, click, 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 and go, and that's not going to make me grow. So the idea is that I try something that I haven't done, and so far, the biggest challenge I have is compositionally, seeing things smaller and simpler. I'm used to I want the big, grand vista, and I want a nice splashy sky and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And those don't translate to the ideas that I have in my head. So I'm still very early in this, and stumbling around quite a bit, but that's part of the fun.
And I think it's very important to continue challenging yourself. I think if as a photographer, if things become formulaic and you just become jaded and you're like, okay, I'm going to go do this, push the shutter button, wrap up, close up my tripod, onto the next location.
And the thing is, if you're doing a paid shoot or professional shoot, that's awesome. I'm thinking of people that do headshots. You have a person for 5 minutes. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You're on your way. But then outside of if this is your full-time gig, outside of doing what your vocation is, trying to grow as an artist.
That's true. Yeah. It's I feel you always have to develop. You always have to continue challenging yourself. That's how come I feel like I cross-train. I do a bunch of different types of photography. And it's fun seeing you jump in on this, right?
Well, so tell me about the cross-train thing, because let me hold my thoughts first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So So, judging by how I look, I don't like cross train. Like I jog and then I play foot. No, it's not that. It's what I do.
Multidisciplinary.
Yes, I do my landscapes. I do I do some weddings. I do some studio stuff. I do some fine art, minimalist. I just try to balance because and I do street photography.
Right.
I try to just continue developing those little pockets. So then, I want to master every one of them. I know they say like a jack of all trades, master of none. I want to be able to. Well, when I say master, I mean I want to be able to
hold your own. Kind of
yeah, I want to hit a threshold or a challenge for myself on each one of these categories. But it's what I like about cross training is that when I do like street photography, it affects the way I do my portrait stuff.
Sure, right.
When I do my landscape, it affects how I do my family stuff, and sometimes I combine the two, and it's a lot of fun when you do that. And so that's what I do.
So if you were actually a cross trainer, you'd be doing like cross country bowling.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So it's funny because I did like when I first picked up a camera, I think I do what a lot of people do. You go shoot everything, right? You go try everything, all these things. And for me, certainly landscapes and the beach was what would make me get out of bed and go out for a morning shoot. And so it's kind of I think it's Greg Heisler. He says like, shoot what you can't help but shoot. And that's kind of what it is for me. And I'll try other things, but I've really those aren't the things that interest me as much. And just curious because obviously every photographer is different. And I was going to ask you, and you already answered. Like, do you find that I've learned techniques in this one genre, and they're bleeding over into another? Because I certainly noticed that for the little bits of things I do outside of my norm, or even because landscapes are there's a wide variety of them. There's desert, there's mountains, there's oceans and so forth, and you do find that a trick or a skill that you used in one physical location, you'll end up using that but applying it in a completely different scenario.
Oh, sure. What's also really nice is that I find that you have to find beauty in everything. And actually, one of my first workshops that I taught years and years ago, I remember having that cubicle job, traveling all over the place, doing the engineering stuff, standing in front of a server. And, you had that constant like whir in the background of just all the fans in the server, the click, click, click of the keyboard. And I'm just looking at it and I'm waiting for something to finish processing or whatever. And I look at the rack next to me, the server rack next to me. And I'm like, wow, these are beautiful looking computers. I mean, everything was like
all lined up,
line. Yeah, it was, and whoever did the cabling on that did such a good job. Good job, cabler. And it's when you look at when you find beauty in everything, it kind of allows you to appreciate stuff and then want to take pictures of it.
I can't remember the other photographer, but that they say it's the reason you pick up a camera so that you can see the world without it, or something like that, where you start to see things that you wouldn't have otherwise noticed. So that could be a whole other topic for another vlog. Like, what is photography opened up for you that you probably wouldn't have discovered otherwise?
Oh,
I think we should just not talk about that right now.
That's so hard.
We're gonna tease these people.
Oh, I've much to say, much fun things to say about
that. Something else I just realized.
What's that?
We've been talking for however many minutes, and we actually didn't introduce ourselves.
Whoa!
So we should do.
You guys don't know who we are.
You don't
know. Do you not know who I am?
Yeah. But this is Spencer Pablo, Sony artisan extraordinaire.
Shucks.
And photographer of all things.
Yes.
Citizen of the world.
Yes. This is Scott Davenport.
That's all he has to say.
Cute face.
Oh, wow. Now I know you're sleep deprived.
No, your coastal stuff is amazing. He shoots on one. You are
speechless. He's speechless.
No,
realize I can't whisper.
No, where do I start? Okay, so I first found out about you because of your coastal stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
You teach a large amount of workshops, and then I was like, oh hey, he also shoots Sony.
Right.
No, oh my God, there's so much more. But again, I have to fall back to my 3 hours of sleep.
Fair enough. We'll give you a
horrible.
Pass.
This is so horrible. Scott Davenport.
But it's
guys.
funny. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, how did we first meet? And I know you'd reached out to me because oh hey, I saw you're shooting Sony and you're local, and
Right.
we should meet up. But I didn't know how you stumbled across me because you find people that way. It's
Right.
like, oh, who are some other good local photographers because you're looking to
The
follow
Facebook
work.
algorithm.
The Facebook
algorithm, right?
I see. So basically, luck.
No,
Or-
actually, the Facebook algorithm I think it's pretty legit. I think it, for the most, well, no, you know what? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Maybe you're not seeing my feed, but
Oh.
it's like, it's like 80%. I like the small groups on Facebook, where
Yeah.
it's 50 people, 100 people, and that's where I think I get the most meaningful interaction.
I
For,
agree.
The rest of it is, I think for more of a numbers game. You're trying to get some reach, and there are people that do wonderfully well on Facebook. But for me personally, I'm an introvert, so I want the small group, and I want just the more. I don't know. If I'm going to interact with somebody, it tends to for me to do that.
Yeah.
That's already like an investment.
You know what? That brings up a good point, because there's a lot of groups on Facebook that just have thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world, and it's really cool to see all these different perspectives. Oh, those are Finland windmills. I don't know if windmills actually exist over there. I'm sure they do, right?
They will soon.
Okay. Oh, it's so beautiful to see that. And then, oh, there's a cool bridge over, the San Francisco Bridge and all that stuff. It's really nice to look at those postcard pictures, but something must be said about being able to have a small group of local photographers where we can meet up, hang out, take pictures,
right,
and in small pockets, and actually just kind of learn from each other. And that's where I thrive as well.
Well, it's the ability for it to be real time, and you can do that through Facebook. There's a lot more that gets communicated through body language than people realize. Like right now, I'm flipping you off, and they just can't tell.
I'm not wearing anything below my shirt.
My God. I think on that note, we should just end the show because we need to go buy pants.
Yes, I will say.
How red am I right now? Because I feel I'm getting redder.
Yes. We should end the show, but I have to say this. So we did, because we did some sunrise shots. It was so early in the morning. I had very little prep for this. I actually had to go back home to go pick up the vlogging stuff.
Yeah.
I remember while we're out there, I'm yelling. I'm like, "Hey, I didn't do any research. Is the tide rising or is it lowering?" As I see the water coming at me, and then of course I'm focused on the shot, and then the water freaks me out because it's Pacific Ocean is cold.
Yeah.
It is cold, and it touches my foot, and I'm like, oh, whoa! I gotta remember where I'm at. So, because there were some pretty awesome waves out there.
There were a few.
There
good
were some
ones,
pretty nice waves. But yeah, I almost had to change my pants.
Well,
bye guys.
I think we're gonna go. So should we get out of here?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.